In this video, we'll discuss how to use ChatGPT to read in a code script, add comments to it to make it more readable, and then email that script to yourself. Let's dive in. So starting off here, I want to take a look at the code that I'm going to read into Shipyard. So you can see we do some importing of packages at the top. We read in some environment variables up there. And we have a few if-else blocks that are looking at what this is doing is looking at our webhook parameters. This is just some code I wrote to play with webhook parameters inside of Shipyard. But what we want to do is we want to allow ChatGPT to add some comments to this to make it more readable. So let's look and see how we can do that. So inside of Shipyard, we want to look for our ChatGPT blueprints. So you can see we have add comments to code as a blueprint. I can click that and add it up. So what we're going to need now is we're going to need our OpenAI API key. So that's what you're going to generate from OpenAI's website. So I'm going to paste mine in there. And so you can see for initial code script we have where you can actually use a actual code script file. So if you want to bring that in from Google Drive, from an S3 bucket, something like that, you can, but you can also just type out the code script as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this code script, and then I'm going to paste it inside of Shipyard here where under initial code script typed out. And then of course we want to name this, so that's going to add the comments and then generate a new file. So I'm going to name this one test.txt. You're welcome to name this with the .py. Our email system doesn't like us sending Python scripts through the email service, so I'm going to name it with a text just to protect against that. So we're good to go there. I'm going to name this vessel add comments to code. Okay, so now we need to email this file to ourselves. So this test.txt, we're going to email that to ourselves. So search for our email blueprints, send message with file. Here, so we're going to send script. Just put in all information here. We're going to send this to ourselves. Subject line script, and then here is the Python script. And our last thing, put our file name in there. So that's all the information we need for our email blueprints. If you're just signing up for Shipyard and want to try this out, we will have a username and password pre-filled in there for you. You're more than welcome to send an email from shipyardapptest@gmail.com just to test it out if you would like. So I'm going to combine these together. So now our fleet here, we're adding comments to the code using ChatGPT. Once that's finished successfully, it's going to generate a file. We're going to send that file through email. So let's click save and finish and see what that looks like on the back end of this. So this is going to take us to a page telling us that the fleet has been created successfully. So now we just want to click run your fleet. So when we click that, it's going to schedule this fleet to run immediately. We call this an on-demand run inside of Shipyard. So an on-demand run can be kicked off at any time inside of Shipyard by clicking this Run Now button in the top right-hand corner of any time you're looking at a fleet. That button's going to be up there for you. Under triggers, you can also schedule these to run using our scheduling trigger and kick them off with a webhook, like I mentioned earlier with this code sample. We have webhooks, and you can also send parameters to that webhook as well. Through the trigger tab up there. And we also have version control, which we won't show off in this demo, but version control for your fleets to show every time we hit save, it's going to create a new version for you to go back and look. So what you're seeing on the fleet log page here, you're seeing that the add comments to code vessel for ChatGPT is already finished. And so once that finished, it kicked off the send script through email. And so that one's also already finished. So you just saw my email pop from 402 to 403. So if I open that, look at our script here. You can see it added those comments, so it import necessary modules, get file paths from environment variables, check if webhook headers files exist, add blank line for readability, right? So it added these comments throughout this file that were not there before. So now this is going to make this file much more easier for for your stakeholders to read, from your colleagues on the team to be able to read. If you're anything like me, I like to write the code and make sure that it works, and I'm always forget to go back and add comments to make sure that anyone else can kind of pick it up and use it, modify it as they need. So using this ChatGPT blueprint inside of Shipyard allows you to kind of skip that step on your own and allows ChatGPT to take care of that for you. If you have any questions about this solution or how you can use Shipyard in your organization, use the link in the description to set up a time to chat with our team of data experts. If you want to see more tutorials like this one, check out these related videos.